Hi, so my name is Luke Whitacre, and this is my informative speech. Have you ever been at work trying to sell something to a customer, and you get that feeling that they're just not buying your sales pitch, or they aren't impressed with what you're trying to sell? Well, it's happened to the best of us. I worked in retail for about 5 years now, and have come across this issue many times. In order to improve, you have to fail initially so that you can then fix what you were doing wrong in the first place. So today, I will be introducing you to some sales tactics that will be helpful to you should you need them in the future. The tactics that I found most important are knowing your product, connecting personally, and asking questions and listening. To start, knowing your product is one of the most important tactics around. If a customer comes into your store and they ask to look at a product, you have to know all of the products in there so that you can describe each one to that customer should they need it. This then helps them get a better idea of the different features of each product so that they can figure out which one is best for them. Thomas Davenport from HBR.org said, "Precious purchases are often the single best guide to what a customer will buy next." So if a customer comes into your store and they say, "Hey, I bought this before," you can say, "Okay, that's over here." So it's going to help them buy again and again and again until you just don't have the product anymore. Also, a thing that can help with that is providing solutions and suggestions to them. If they come in and you don't have a certain product that you used to have that they liked, you can suggest to them the next best option that is very similar to the one that you used to have. Next is connecting personally. Using past experiences to connect with customers is very important. If a customer comes in and describes how they broke their leg and they're shopping for shoes and they need a shoe that is very comfortable with a lot of cushioning and different things like that, if you work at Nike, Asics, Adidas, anything like that, you can direct them to the shoe that is best describes that and has all those features so that they can go and try it on and will most likely be able to buy that shoe because that's what they're looking for. It makes them feel more comfortable and at home. It's not like they're just walking into a store, interacting with people that they don't know and aren't getting the help that they need. The Forbes Coaches Council from Forbes.com said, you want people to get excited about your business, and that can't happen without establishing an emotional connection. Treat every touch point with your customer like it's a face-to-face conversation. So when a customer comes into your store, you want them to feel like it's just you and them, that they're the only person that you're caring about at that moment in time. So then they get a better idea of the store environment, and also they get a better feeling when they buy something that they made the right decision and that they didn't just impulse buy or that they don't walk out with nothing at the end of the day. Lastly, the most important, at least I think the most important tactic of selling is listening and asking questions. When you listen to a customer and they talk back to you, it gets you feedback and data that you wouldn't get on paper, through a computer, or anything like that. Also, it gets you stories to share. So like I said earlier, connecting with the customer personally, if they share stories with you, maybe you have a story that's the same thing or very similar that you can then share with them and gets you connecting and sharing other stories, and it makes them feel more comfortable so that they are more able to buy. Shep Hyken from Forbes.com says, your customer can give you the best source of real-time feedback. This can help you get a gauge on how the customer is thinking and feeling at that time. Also with that, going off of that, it can also give you an idea of if the customer will want to come back, if they had a good experience at your store, or if they may have had a bad experience at your store. With that, you can also use upselling as well, which is basically if a customer goes to buy a pair of shoes, you can try and add on a pair of socks with it, or maybe a t-shirt or a pair of pants or something like that, just so that they don't just leave with the shoes when possibly they could end up spending more if you tried. So in closing, selling is a tough business in general. In order to be successful at it, you have to make sure that you at least know the product that you are selling, you're connecting personally with each and every customer, and that you listen intently to what the customer is saying. If you use these tactics, you will be on your way to becoming a great salesperson. Thanks for listening.